So, before we begin, let's explain the run a little. Low percent is a speedrun where you complete the game with as little completion percent as possible. In Silksong, that is currently only 5%. Those being the Cling Grip, Needle-In, Claw Line, Cross Stitch, and the Lace Silk Heart. We also get the Drifter's Cloak, which strangely doesn't count as a percent, and bosses also don't count as percent in this game, which is a big reason why the completion is already much lower than Hollow Knight's 11%. The most notable things we're going to skip are the Swift Step, or Dash, and all needle upgrades, which you can imagine add quite the challenge. But without further delay, let's get into the run. So yeah, chat, basically we're not getting Dash, which is a pretty big deal, but it also means that we're going to be doing this movement like the entire run until we get Claw Line, and then we'll still be doing it because Claw Line is actually kind of hard to use when you don't have a Silk Heart, but we'll get to that way later. For now, we're basically just doing the start you'd normally do. And of course we're going down for this, because we're gonna need rosaries or something. Of course Moss Mother is the hardest boss, but we got through it. You know, it's crazy that Team Cherry would put such a difficult boss right at the start. Okay, so right off the bat, we are actually not going to be heading towards Silk Spear, and we're not going to be getting Bell Beast, so that's a pretty huge route change. And the reason is because this shop owner right here, they have a simple key. And what you can do with the simple key is you can get into Wormways, and through a series of skips, you can actually make it to Shellwood through that route. And you don't need any abilities to do that. So that's going to be one of the main things we're doing right off the start that is a lot different from your usual path. But in order to get that key, we need to get a lot of rosaries. It's 500. You can see there's 60 right there. But for some of this, we're going to have to do some enemy grinding. My favorite kind of category. It's definitely not that bad. It's you know, you do a few runs through. So I'm trying to do Beast Fly Pogo here. If you pogo the spy at the right height, you can get to this platform. And this is something I should be good at, but apparently I suck. There we go. I actually did this skip in my casual playthrough, which is really funny. Rosaries over here, I should get. Need to make sure these don't fall in the spikes here. So we're already at 100 out of 500. No, don't spend your money on the map! I almost did it. That would have made me have to do more enemy grinding. Yeah, this is where you normally get Silk Spear and Bell Beast, but we're gonna get neither of those, because that is 2% because of the Silk Heart after Bell Beast. And we are instead just gonna be killing these enemies for some money. And the first go-around, we can also pick up some things like these. Of course they just rolled everywhere, but I think I got them all. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of head down and go in a bit of a loop here. There is also some beads here. We're gonna make our way back to the bench, and then we're gonna just repeat this circle until we have enough money. So, this is now the enemy grind portion of the run. Let the grind begin! Yeah, I just need like one more, I think. So let's see if I can just fly pogo. No! Please. Yes! Okay, we're done, chat. We got the money we need. And now, we're gonna head down here. We're gonna make sure we open the elevator for later. But there's also rosaries here. So I guess I actually got a bit extra, because I forgot about these ones, but I guess I have a rosary bead for later. Oh no, I got just enough! Because those are the ones I was thinking of, and then we got the 30. And that is 500, so that was actually perfect. And now we buy the key. And now we're on to phase 2, which is getting into Shellwood super early through Wormways. So you need to pogo that fly, and this fly, to get over here. Lots of enemy pogos in this that are required, because you're not expected to not have dash here. We just gotta outrun the mole here. And it's okay to take damage, because we actually want to take damage at some point during this. Because we are going to be setting up a cocoon skip, which is very similar to shade skips, but with the cocoon instead. So basically, we want to die over here. Because we're trying to get up to this ledge up here. Hopefully that's in a good spot. You basically just want to set up your cocoon, so when you die, your cocoon spawns generally where you die. There's some, like, parts in the game where it kind of doesn't go exactly where you want it, but there is a spot here that should let us pogo, heal, and reach the platform just barely. So this might take a few attempts. I'm hoping I get it first try, because it's a lot of time lost if you mess it up. Okay, we don't really care about getting Silk here, because we're gonna get a full heal from the cocoon. So, let's see if we can get this. Nice! First try! That's huge. Okay. That's huge, actually. So you actually do need the heal, in addition to pogoing at a certain specific spot. It's actually pretty tricky, so I'm glad I got that first try. And I need to make sure I don't die here, so I'm gonna play it a bit safe. Especially because these do 2 damage. Oh my god. Be careful, dude. If I die, I have to do the skip all over again. So this is another skip. I'm gonna have to get some soul here. There's 2 skips back to back. First one is we need to reach this ledge. And we can actually fall here and hit it. That's gonna set our respawn up there. And we're gonna do a second heal skip. So we need enough silk from this guy. Like that, and then we can damage tank. We're gonna warp back up here. And then we can heal over to this ledge. And just barely grab it. And then that lets us get up here without dash. So that is the majority. Those are the 2 skips you need to do. The rest of this is just the climb, which is very doable without any abilities. But that is the low percent worm waves. It's very cool that this is possible. And the whole goal here is to get into Shellwood early. So we just got a little bit more here, where I need to not fall. And you need to poke at that guy as well. So we are now into Shellwood with no dash, no Silk Spear, and no Bell Beast Silk Heart. And that's the key to this whole route. Okay, don't die though. It's really bad if you die here. I still gotta do all that over again, so we're gonna be a bit safe. Try and get a heal here. You need to hit that from that side, or else you can't make that. Like, all these areas are kind of designed with having dash in mind, but it's completely doable without it, interestingly enough. And there is one more little skip we're gonna have to do past this, but for the most part everything's very doable, including this skip, which is something that's also used in any percent. And this skip isn't really affected much by not having dash, because you don't really use dash in it anyways. But we lure that over with taunt, and then we can just pogo up it. And I just barely made that. That's a bit sketchy. That part's a bit sketchy without dash. But it is possible. You also have to pogo this thing, or else you can't make it to here. And then there's one more spot here, where you actually need to pogo this guy. So we need to wait for him to drift high enough. There's a backup if you don't want to wait for this, but this is like the easiest way to do it. And you can barely make it up here. Otherwise, the part on the left you need to do a damage tank. Oh no! Okay, that's okay, that's okay. It's kinda sketchy. There we go, jeez. That part's actually kinda scary too. But we have now made it to wall jump with no dash, which is definitely required for a lot of stuff. But just getting here is such a crazy route that I feel like it makes low percent very interesting. And we're gonna get this elevator for later, but we're actually leaving Shellwood for the moment. And there's a reason for this. It's actually, it would be very nice to just do Widow right now, but you actually can't do it. And the reason is because inside the Widow cutscene, which you're forced into like the Silk Realm, and you have to do like a platforming section. In that, you can't do it without dash or float. So we're gonna have to go on the huge adventure here to go get Drifter's Cloak. so that we can do that cutscene. Otherwise, we're locked in there forever, and it's a hard lock. Because the game saves you in there. Thankfully, there's a little shortcut we can take through here, which is a silly route. We have to actually go into the bellways here, and we can take a bit of a shortcut to get to Drifter's Cloak through Deep Docks. So another pretty big deal about low percent is that we get no needle upgrades. And if you're thinking about Act 2 with no needle upgrades being bad, yeah, it is. It's kind of funny because Act 1 is a super different route, which is very interesting. And then Act 2 is basically the same route that you normally take, but you have no upgrades, and every boss is insanely difficult. Make sure I hit this lever, by the way. Saves a lot of time on the way back. Yes, High Halls Arena will be done. But yeah, now we're in Deep Docks through that route. And we're gonna have to head over to Far Fields, which means we're gonna have to fight Lace. And we're also gonna have to do another skip to get there. A couple skips, actually. Because you are definitely intended to have dash at a couple of spots here. So here, you might be thinking of this spot that you normally need dash for. Oh, and I was not thinking of it because I need to get a heal for this. Ooh, yeah. Okay, a bit of a trek for a heal, but we need this to actually make this jump. Okay, so the trick here is to up slash so you can get higher up on that wall. And then you gotta heal extend to reach this platform. And the up slash is very important because otherwise you'll ledge grab and it won't let you wall jump there. And there's a couple spots. There's a spot later on where you can do a slash wall jump, nail slash wall jump, because it cancels the ledge grab and you'll be able to wall jump in spots you wouldn't normally be able to. And then yeah, we just basically gotta do Lace. So this is the first fight we're doing dashless that you'd normally have dash. Lace isn't too bad dashless. She's kind of built like in a way that it's not too bad because she will approach you and there's nothing too crazy you have to dash out of the way of. Especially this version of Lace. The other one can definitely be harder. Oh yeah, the butterflies are like glitched out for some reason. I don't know if that's like a low percent thing or... but they're just kind of here. And yeah, you'll notice we have no Silk abilities, so we can't use like Silk Sphere or anything right now. We are going to get one later, but that's because it's along the path and we have to get it, basically. There we go. So we're going to get to a bell here, and the bell actually... we don't need to be hitting these. Even at any percent, you don't need to be hitting these, because there is another way into Act 2. And here is another skip we have to do. There is a very big wall here. I'm going to see if I can get the hard version. There is a harder version where you can do a wall jump nail swing thing. Like so. But it's very hard, so you can see I just barely missed that. And thankfully there is a backup if you miss that. It is possible if you get it perfectly, but the backup is a very simple cocoon skip, and you basically just get over here for free. And thankfully the bench is right there, so that's not too big of a loss to have to do that version. The rest of these jumps are very doable without dash, thanks to our down pogo. It's basically a mini dash. But yeah, we are on the way to Drifter's Cloak. Drifter's Cloak does not count as a percent for some reason, despite being a huge help in this run. And like being the main reason why we don't need dash. I'm gonna be safe here because I'm kind of low in health. This is not being safe, actually. It turns out. That's rough, okay. Well, it gives us another attempt at this. And we don't need money for later on, so it's okay if we lose money. Wait, I can't heal. That was actually a pretty good jump. It's okay dying, like, we're gonna die later on to every boss, so I'm not too upset about some time loss. So I'm just gonna full send this off the ledge and hope it works out. I usually get hit for this, but I hopefully won't die. Okay, we made it. So yes, we still can't avoid this quest. But like, if we didn't get Cloak and low percent, I don't know how we'd be making some jumps later on. It's kind of like, it just lets us skip dash, basically. And there's this weird tech that is probably going to be banned for low percent NMG, where you can dash out of a cloak usage, even though you don't have dash. It's very strange. but I am not going to be using it because it's most likely going to be banned. 10 hours of farming hokers. No, we're going to be done soon. This is definitely less grinding than the other part. What? Oh, I got hit, and I forgot when you get hit, you don't get the spine. Come on, this has got to be enough. Yes, okay, there we go. So the unfortunate side effect of us needing cloak here, and the fact that the game hard saves you at every ability, is that we are now hard saved here and we need to backtrack all the way back to Widow. And there's no fast travel because we didn't free Belbeast. So we're literally just walking back the same way we came for like 2 minutes. Although there's one interesting thing we can do here, and I learned this to make this more interesting. There is a quick kill on this boss. Because normally you can run jump out of here, but we don't have run. So we can try and do a quick kill on this boss where we hit the bombs off screen. And I'm gonna see if I can get it here. We need to wait for them to go down here so we can pogo. And then we basically need to... I hit one, you can see there, the explosion. And I hit two. There we go! So you don't need to wait till phase 2 to hit those bombs. You can just pogo and barely hit them off screen if you know where they are. And that is a really cool low percent strat you can do. Because we can't run jump out of the boss, so it's actually like the optimal thing to do. We don't want to go all the way up because we're not going to Greymore. We're just going to backtrack the same way we came because that's actually still the fastest way. So we're trying to make our way back to that lever we hit with the weird platforms that spawn. Yeah, there it is. So if you don't hit these down, you have to like go to the left and around, and it takes a long time. And I did that when I was learning this because I forgot. I didn't realize I had to hit that lever. So now our goal is to head back to Needlein, which is where this whole journey began. And now we're gonna actually beat Widow, now that we have float and we don't lock our game inside the cutscene. You cannot brute force through the mist. So Needlein, I believe glitch runners have found that you actually don't need Needlein for late game. It'll just let you play anyways, like it just gives it to you. If you can get to Act 2 and get to the song playing parts. But the mist is actually what requires it. Because the mist, if you don't have it, it won't let you get a correct door. It doesn't matter if you guess what would have been the correct door. If you don't have it, it just doesn't let you in. You'll just actually be infinitely looping. So it's hard-coded to not let you through. And then Last Judge also needs it, so... Currently, no major glitches, you have to get it. There's no way to avoid it, even if you get more percent elsewhere. Anyways, I gotta try and fight this boss without dash, so give me a sec. Now thankfully this one, you're intended to have no nail upgrades, needle upgrades, so damage will be fine, as long as I can get hits in. But that is definitely not going to be the case later on. We're going to be dashless and have no needle upgrades for the late game bosses. And it's very hard. I got double hit by that. I got triple hit. Now I still do find this fight a lot harder than normal, because I do a lot of dash backs in this fight. There is one thing you can take note of, is in phase 2. If she does 3 bell attacks in a row, she'll always do a quick attack. Which will help you avoid help you know when that's coming, because it goes way too fast to not dash away from. Now sometimes she just does it, so you gotta look out for that. So this is 3 bells, so she's gonna do a quick attack, yeah. Was ready for that, thankfully. There we go, first try. So I'm obviously playing a bit safe, but we got it. Use right trigger to dash. Thanks for the tip, but my right trigger is broken on my controller. Alright, so here's the reason we have to do so much backtracking and get Drifter's Cloak this early, instead of just doing this when we got here the first time. This jump right here needs float. This one doesn't. This one doesn't. But that first one you cannot make without it. I tried for a long time. And then that's not even the end, because there's even more here. This jump needs float. Like, even more than the other one. This one needs float. And this one needs float. And then I believe the rest is doable without it, so there's like 3 jumps. Maybe this one needs it. I think that's 2 more, actually, that need it. There's like 5 or 6, I think. Alternatively, you could obviously get dash, but we're not doing that. And if you don't have dash or cloak, you can't progress in the game anymore. Your file is fucked. Well, you can reload to an older save. I guess this game does have that feature, so I guess it is a soft lock. But you'd have to reload back to Claw. Okay, so it is now time for the mist, but we're also going through here, and you may remember, we haven't fought Morwing yet. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. Morwing does not show up once you get to Bellheart. It doesn't matter if you got through Shellwood entrance. It's just not here. So that's a nice little trick. And we're gonna take this little side route here, which leads us to the Stag Room. Or, you know, the Bell Beast Room. Who is still trapped, by the way. I feel kind of bad, actually, doing low percent. And just having the Bell Beast be trapped the whole time. I would prefer not to die here. I'm gonna safety bench once I get to the elevator. Because Mist low percent is even worse than Mist normal percent. But thankfully I've done some any percent practice, and I kind of know what I'm doing in the Mist for the most part at this point. It's still tricky though. So yeah, we're basically, at this point, the route is not going to be very different from a standard any percent run. It's just going to be the fact that we don't have dash, we don't have any nail upgrades. I keep calling it nail, but you know what I mean. So basically everything is just going to be harder than usual. Now we can actually do a Shalamit skip still. It's just a little harder to get the positioning. Oh, that was so close, it would have worked. We get one more pogo here. We're gonna need another one. Okay, nice. Got that. So it's a little awkward without dash, but it is very doable. That was super rude, by the way. Okay, that is very rough. I'm probably gonna die here. Thankfully we safety benched. Yep. It's tough. Good movement, I can just wall jump here. Okay, good float there. Okay, that was a good pogo, because I can just get up there and avoid those guys. Now, I need to make sure I don't fall in the water here, because it's a lot easier to do without dash. I need to make sure I actually pogo these. And don't miss. Okay, we're there. So it is now time for the mist. So, runners have already learned this very well, because it's in any percent. We're basically just doing it without dash, but if you don't know, you play the music and the flies will point you towards the exit. And there's a whole science to this. Oh god. There's a whole science to this now. You can kind of know where to go even without the flies sometimes. On the 3rd and the 5th exit, I believe. Now what we do need to keep in mind is we don't have a silk heart. So we can very easily run out of silk and it will not regenerate, and we cannot play our Needle-In anymore. That is also going to come into play with Claw Shot later. Claw Line, Grapple. So now we did 2. This is the 3rd exit, so we know we just need a left or right exit. So I'm going to go to this right exit here, without checking the flies, and we make it through. They drifted into my range. Okay. That's unfortunate. And I'm dead. Alright, good first attempt. And yeah, because we never get any extra silk, a full heal always uses up all our silk, which means we can no longer do any actions that use silk. I'm gonna heal here because we can refill. Thankfully, you can actually stop playing the Needle-In before it uses any silk, and it will still get the flies to move. Okay, midway. Come on, that doesn't make it. Oh, I made it. Okay. And now I believe we can loop back if we have to. No, this is fine, this is fine. There's a right exit right up here. Ready for this? Let's go! The ghost pogo! We're out! Alright, that is low percent miss. Let's go. So now, thankfully, due to this route being the lowest percent route, we actually do get an ability here, because beating this boss gives you the parry. And that is going to be the only ability we have for this round. But it's nice to have something, at least. And parry can actually be very useful, even if I do prefer Silk Spear over it. We also get a safety bench, so if we die to the boss, we don't have to go through the mist again. Now this is a fight that definitely feels not designed for having no dash, so it can be pretty tricky. I personally think there's harder fights in this run, but this one definitely does feel like some moves expect you to have dash for sure. Particularly like the ground slam attack. So you can see there, I kind of got trapped into that. That attack is very rough. Without dash. You can get out of it sometimes. You can even parry it with a pogo if you do it at the right time and spot. But it's better to just get out if you can. There we go! I got the parry there. Oh fuck. That's rough, dude. Oh, oh my god. Okay, we're still at risk of dying here. Oh my god! Clutch. Don't jump into me, oh my god. I was hoping that would end the fight. It did not. There we go, okay. First try. Very close calls. So yeah, now we have parry. We're gonna be using parry in like every fight going forwards because it's a lot of damage. It's also a safety option. You can avoid certain attacks using it. Now I'm not super good at parry, but this category is kind of like forcing me to learn to get better at it, so... Alright, here's where the real run begins. Act 2, no needle upgrades, no mask upgrades, no dash, just parry. These guys, by the way, are actually kind of scary, like they can catch up to you, like get away from me. Get away from me. Alright, Cogwork Dancers. Definitely not the hardest fight here, probably the easiest fight in Act 2, but they can still get you. I gotta hit them a lot more than usual. Now parry can be very useful if you use it, especially because you know exactly where they're about to go. So it's fairly easy to use in this fight. I say as I miss a parry. Nice, this is going well. Don't throw in the final phase. No! I'm throwing. You really don't want to lose sight of them in this, because your damage is so little if you switch targets. Oh gosh. I don't remember who it is. If you switch targets, you're going to be spending a lot of time hitting someone. And I don't remember who it is, so... That's bad. Okay, is this one? First try. Okay, so we're mostly going to be doing the any percent standard out here. I'm going to be doing some safety benches. But there's one change I'm going to do that's going to make something a little easier later on. So most people might have been thinking of High Halls Arena when you think of this category. When you think of doing something in Act 2 with no abilities and whatever. That would be difficult. And that is definitely the hardest part of the run. But there is a technique we can do. There's a NPC we can actually get to help us out a little. I believe there's actually 2 NPCs you can get, but one of them takes way longer. But we are going to be summoning Garmond to help us out, because I'm still not super confident in doing it with this kit. It's very difficult. It's a very silly safety strat you can do. Obviously, optimally, you do not summon him, and Everett does not do that already. But for my first little showcase run, I think it's both a fun technique and it'll help a lot. Now, we're not going to have Garmond for this one. But thankfully it's not as bad. You are going to notice, though, these enemies take a long time to die. Parries can obviously speed things up, but they're kind of scary to go for sometimes. I like parrying these projectiles when I can. Like this. That's something I'm just doing a lot in High Halls Arena as well. It's a very predictable thing you can just parry. Also, that guy got owned by that. Yeah, even this arena is difficult with this little equipment. As you can see, when I die. Damn. These guys are a lot easier with grapple. I hate fighting these guys without grapple. Or a dash. I hate these guys. What? I was so prepared to parry the other projectile and that one just got me. Just gonna play it safe, I don't want to die again. Okay, he's showing up. Nice. So yeah, we're gonna go through vaults. We're getting the cylinder we need for the song. And I'm also gonna be setting up something for later in this room. This will come into play later. That block, we'll need that later. But yeah, for now we're heading to Travio. But yeah, Travio is another fight that is very hard with this kit. So hopefully we won't die too much. Alright. Let's try not to die. Thankfully parry is pretty good in this fight, but it's still really hard. Thanks iframes. That looked very sketchy. Good damage. Ah! That's rough. Get a heal. No! Oh my god. Clutch. Careful with balls, dude. What? Let's go! First try. Okay, don't pick up the mirror. I do usually pick up the mirror in any percent, so don't accidentally pick up the mirror and gain a percent. That's probably like the one part where I could see myself accidentally gaining a percent. So just make sure we don't do that. Okay, now we're on our way to grapple, which is hard required for certain lever things you need to pull. Like the one to get into the upper cogworks. So it would be very hard to skip in NMG, probably impossible. There's also a couple in High Halls in the spike section. Now there's a funny little section here. Obviously this is where we get grapple, and it gives us silk. If you run out of silk here, you actually have to die and use your cocoon to get silk back. Because remember, we don't have the silk heart. And in general, using grapple is a lot harder when you don't have a silk heart, because you need to make sure you're hitting enemies to be able to use the ability at all. So you'd think we would just spam it now that we have it, but we can't really do that because we don't have the silk heart. So it's a lot more strategic than it is in normal gameplay. We gotta actually manage our soul very well. So yeah, we do want to use grapple wherever we can because it's gonna make us go way faster. But we gotta be mindful of our silk for sure. So we're gonna be going into a very weird secret route here. And the purpose of this is because we're gonna be opening up a shortcut to get to Garmond in the top right and duel him later. This is the wrong way, but it's around here somewhere. Ow, you can't make that. I gotta wait another cycle now. Oh god. It's here. Okay, I knew that was gonna happen, dude. I did forget about that. I did forget about the rock, but I knew I was gonna die to something. Oh my god, this part's hard, dude. I'm gonna die again. Now, I might not be able to get the shortcut before I die, which would be really sad. Is there flying enemies? There we go. We made it. We opened the shortcut. That was all that was for. Because later on, we're gonna be heading back that way. I also need to open this up. Here's the shortcut. Okay, first song is done after some struggle. I need to save this one silk, by the way. I can't use this. I need it for the grapple thing. I need 2? Wait, what do I need 2 for? No, I can pogo I can pogo the gears. There's a strat. I made the same mistake in my learning run. You can just do this. Gaming. No, dude, I was so close. It is a bit of a jank ledge grab, but you can get it. I've done it before. There we go! Alright, we go up here. I don't have grapples, so I gotta go the long way here. Nice last on the last hit. We don't need heals. We're gaming. Now, I should have probably had one here, but I think I can make it. Frick! Gaming! I can't believe we made that. Holy shit. So yeah, these are always the same, thankfully. Which means I should probably have them memorized by now, but I definitely don't. So I'm still using the cheat code. As in, just looking at how many times I have to hit each lever on a piece of paper. Alright, let's just enjoy the music for a bit, I guess, before the worst part of the run. Okay, so we're gonna bench here. And then when you go back into this room, Garmond should be killing these guys. There he is! Let's go. The goat. So we need to help him kill these guys. Preferably not freaking die. Good thing there's a bench right there. Hopefully that doesn't mess that up. Oh no! It does mess it up! Wait, does he come back? I didn't realize dying was such a big deal. I either have to do the arena myself, or I have to figure out where else this guy can go. The bottom of the route dock. Left out of the kitchen. Is this not it? I need to die? Yes! I found him! Don't die again. Where are you going, dude? I need to talk to you. Okay, so now we can duel Garmond after high halls. And all is good. Slight route scare, but thanks for the backup strat. You talk to him once and then you have to duel him. But we're gonna do that after high halls. Okay, so we're going up to high halls. Apart from the arena, nothing's too difficult, because it's mostly just grapple movement. But we do need to keep mind of our silk, obviously. Make sure we don't run out. Or the ones here. Ah shit, I need silk. Ah! I need silk! Frick, I need silk. Is there a way to get silk here? Nope. I've doomed myself. I can't go up! Are you kidding me? Okay, reattempt. That's unfortunate. Okay, we got plenty of silk this time. No! 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 It's fine, we've had more tragic moments in this run. Okay. We made it! So, it is detour time. We're gonna bench here. I'm gonna take this to first shrine. Somehow I've held onto these rosaries all this time. But now it's time for the most epic duel in the whole game. There he is! So we gotta talk to him 3 times. And then we can challenge him to a duel. Let's go. Hardest fight. This is the true hardest part of low percent. Owned. Back in the spikes. Yeah, even at low percent, this guy kind of sucks. It does make me laugh every time he falls in the spike. Gaming. Okay, Hopefully that's all we need to do. And we should see him outside of High Hell's Arena now. Yep, there he is. Let's go. And now it is now doable. Let's go. Alright chat, here's the part of the run that you're all waiting for. This is way harder than what I did in my casual playthrough even. Because we have no tools, no dash, and we have no needle upgrades. And just parry. Don't hit me. Now Garmond doesn't show up immediately. You gotta do the first wave. But he should show up now. There he is. So he will kind of just passively hit things. It's not like a crazy amount of damage. But later on, when you're fighting the two big guys, it's so scary to go in and do damage, and you can just kind of hide and he'll do all the work, basically. I'm still going to be doing damage, but it means that if I'm running away trying to heal, we're getting passive damage the whole time. And you can see he is kind of useful, just in general as well. But this is still very difficult. It doesn't make it that much easier. And he'll just miss a lot of the time. But I personally find the help to be much appreciated. Grapple can give you some iframes and also let you get to enemies. A good strat against these guys, if you stand under them, they really can't hit you. So you want to stand under one of them, and dodge the other one. And I find standing under the left one is way better. When I stand under the right one, I get owned, I don't know why. But you'll see, like, he tries to hit you, and it just goes to the left or right. Alright, first guy. Now these guys, a good strat against these guys is to be pogoing. I'm not super good at the strat yet, but you can constantly pogo, and then if you notice a move that's gonna hit you, you like back off. It's still tricky though. But there's like the spot above them where you're safe from most moves. But the jump hit will get you, obviously. As will that. Oh god. Careful. Thank you, Garmond. As you can see, Garmond carry. Garmond sweep. Now he will sometimes trigger parries, which can be a bit scary, but... Oof. Oh my god, I'm getting owned, dude. Thankfully you can heal before those things grab your soul. Everything. Big carry. You can see Garmond actually protected me there by hitting the projectile there. Oh my god, no. I didn't get enough for heal. I can hit this and heal, I think. I'm gonna hit this guy. Hide up here. Okay. Gotta be very careful here. The double AoE. Oh my god, they're going crazy with that move. My hands are shaking. Give me a sec. Oh my god. Don't die to the one guy. Let's go! First try, dude. I told you, Garmond carry. Thank you, Garmond. That would not have been a first try without Garmond, I guarantee you. Zelda's back must be hurting from carrying Garmond, whose back must be hurting from carrying you. You know what? I'm fine with that. Alright, so we are now on to the final two bosses. Lace Silk Heart Skip 1. I don't know, I know the game just came out recently, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to skip any more stuff here. It all feels so necessary. I guess Cloak would be the closest thing, because there is a down patch strat to skip it in any percent, but... And yeah, it's not even a percent, so it wouldn't even lower the percentage. So I highly doubt in NMG we're gonna find any more... We're gonna lower the percent at all. I would be surprised. I'm sure we'll find better strats and faster routes perhaps, but yeah, in terms of percent, I'd be surprised. Alright chat, let's do it. That hurts. Parry is actually really good in this fight. I'm gonna heal first though. And thankfully Lace is so mobile that she's always running into you. And you can kind of stay still a lot of the fight. Nice timing on that. I think I would've got hit otherwise. Gotta be careful with this move. I gotta stop jumping into that. It's just my instinct because I can't dash. So I do like a jump down pogo away. And it covers that. Don't jump into me. No, I knew it. I knew it was bad. I keep doing the same thing. Don't hit me! No! That's so rough. It's always that move. Damn. I like being at full health and being able to parry most things. It's a much better position to be in. Correct me. Oh, clutch. Let's go! There it is. Didn't take too long. Okay, one fight remains. Well, I gotta do this little Silk Heart segment first. So you're not able to go up until you grab this. This is what triggers the door opening, which lets you to the end. And it is actually the final percent we have to grab, but you have to get it. You can't get up otherwise. Oh right, we can just grapple spam. We have the Silk Heart. I forgot. We finally have a Silk Heart, and I just haven't been using it this whole time. So I'm like not used to it. Alright, here we go, chat. Garmond. So this fight, we're basically just going to be grappling the whole time. That's the game plan. Just hit, grapple, hit, grapple. Obviously you still have to dodge things. I almost just invalidated my run. I pressed dash. Glad I didn't input. You can also get some parries in on the swords, if you're fancy with it. So as you can see, this fight takes a little longer. But we're doing alright. That's rough. Oh, why did I say anything? No! Oh my god! How did I get in between those? I didn't even know you could do that. I wish I could see the hitboxes. I just want to get a heal here. I didn't get a heal. We wait for our opening, heal. Gotta be a little more careful with my grapples, because this phase it's more easy to get hit by swords. Except during when the ground spikes are out, you're usually fine to just spam it. Gotta be almost dead, right? I know it's low percent, but come on. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Just die! Come on! Oh my god. I can't believe this is still going. Oh! Let's go! Alright, Sub 240. There we go. Silksong in 5% completion. Hope you all enjoyed. It's a very difficult run. And we can definitely do that faster, but I'm just happy to have a run done. Oh, I missed. It's fine. Got it here. Is that both? Yep! That was clean. I got both first swing, I think.